Beth, first half not so good, second half different ball game, that wasn't it?
First half felt like I was getting flashbacks back to 2019 or whatever that season we were awful under Ollie. Under Ollie, yeah, I was getting flashbacks. I mean, as a whole, we didn't really let Villa into the game that much, but we just were poor going through the midfield. At the back, we looked shaky. But second half, Bruno comes from the right into the 10 role and we look like a different team. He's so important to that team. I've said it time and time again and people continue to question and laugh at me. But Bruno Fernandes, I would say, along with Varane and Martinez, Casemiro, along them lines, our most important player. Genuinely our most important player. The creativity that he brings. Yeah, he does some stuff that people don't like. Gives the ball away a little bit too much sometimes. Sometimes does a stupid back heel when he should just pass the ball off. But what he brings to the table is worth more than any of that. He's just the engine of the team, so creative, makes things work, he's a leader, and again I think he's a difference tonight. He's difference, and I thought as a team we played better when he went to the number 10 role and Donny came off. Question marks over Donny van der Beek 3 games in a row now and I've not noticed him at all. So I think time's maybe coming to an end for him, but some real good positives before there is some negatives out of that game, of course, like Maguire and Lindelof. If we have to play them at the new camp, I am worried. If they had Leon Bailey in the first half, I would be worried about them defenders, I'm not going to lie. You could see that Aston Villa were getting behind quite a lot from Maguire's pace and Lindelof didn't help at all. But I think in general, positives, especially with the forward line, a lot more free flowing with Martial's playing up front as well.
That's it. It seems to work in the system better. It seems to make other players play better because there's that understanding, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's like Martial and Rashford's understanding and Bruno knowing exactly what they're about. You could even bring Alanga into that. Garnacho coming on plays a lot better with that sort of system and them sort of players around him as well.
Well, I just think there's more space for the wingers because whoever's up front and dropping in actually has legs to run around and occupy the defenders. Like, no disrespect to Ronaldo, and I don't want to bring it back to him, but when you have Martial up front, you see the amount of runs he's continuously making, how he's dropping in, dropping out, and just press a whole lot better without Ronaldo in the team and with Bruno in the team, in my opinion. And then also when you get the ball and you just see players get into different positions and you can see the space that opens up because of the work that the centre forward is doing off the ball. So yeah, I think Martial is just, I think he's brilliant, genuinely. I think even the fact that we have to come off shows how important he is for me. Because Eric Ten Hag's just so worried about him getting injured, but them little touches he was having when he was getting the ball and kind of playing it off to players, and when you've seen Ronaldo do that, you see it just kind of bounce off him. I'm not trying to compare too much, but every single time Martial is near enough playing it to a player, getting on the front foot, and we would drive at the attack. I just think, I hope he stays fit, I really do.
That's it now. Looking ahead, last game before the World Cup, Beth. Big decision for Eric Ten Hag this weekend.
Yeah.
The system clearly works better with Martial, like we've said, instead of Ronaldo. This is where, after making him captain in the last game and him performing poorly, to then Martial today, obviously bringing other players into play and linking up better. This is, I think, the moment for Ten Hag now. This is a statement game, I think.
I don't think it's a big decision, if I'm being honest with you. I think it's quite obvious what you would do. I love Ronaldo. He's been a brilliant player, one of the best players I've ever seen playing football, one of the best players ever played in the world. But unfortunately, he's just not playing well enough for me to be starting at number 9. I think tonight when Martial was on, it's not just about Martial. The team played better around it, and that's what you want to see. You saw, I mean, Garnacho came on when Martial wasn't on, and obviously Alanga and stuff, but even when everyone's not constantly trying to get the ball into Ronaldo, which not necessarily is Ronaldo's fault, you see Garnacho get on the ball more, you see Alanga get on the ball more, you saw Bruno get on the ball more. I just thought Rashford even, it was more of a team performance. And Garnacho, by the way, I think we've got a seriously good player on our hands. He's cocky and I like that about him. He's so confident. That run he did from the halfway line all the way, unfortunately didn't manage to stick it in the back of the net, but what an unbelievable run. When he passed that pinpoint pass through to Scott McTominay, Kevin De Bruyne has passed that, genuinely, through to Scott McTominay, and he turns around to the crowd and does that like it's on him, like it's that cockiness that you want to see. And I think he's actually maybe knocking on the door to Eric Ten Hag as well now, looking for a place in definitely minutes in the Premier League at least, and on that left, he's the first player I've seen in a very, very long time that will just run at players and knows he's going to beat them. It's like, I don't want to get too far along with it, but it reminds me of when we had Ronaldo in these sort of games, you know, against Bolton and stuff like that back in the day when he would just run at players. I don't want to get carried away with it that much, but he is fearless, he's confident, and I think he's going to be a great player. But I think Casemiro and Eriksen coming on as well showed their class. Much bigger upgrade on Fred in there. McTominay played better with them around. I just think you can see now, this is why Barcelona is going to be so important. Martinez injured is worrying, because Maguire and Lindelof for me as a pairing are just not good enough. Glad we won the game, but it's not good enough. And then as well, Casemiro and Eriksen looks much better rested. Came on and made an impact for the Rashford goal as well. I thought he did really well, and he added creativity. So first half was poor, but second half I thought we really kind of kicked on and showed that we actually can score goals, which we've been struggling to do recently.
It was nice. Beth, cheers for coming on.
Yeah, good to come on, and Bruno man of the match as well.